We have already reached episode 4 of Past Life. So much has happened, from Boogeyman to Secret Society to the Octokill. With all this taken into account, I'm wondering where we go from here. What should we expect, and how will Past Life end? We already know about the twist this season, that being going through different versions until we get to the current version of Minecraft, but I wonder if the other twists will lead to this season being shorter compared to other Life series seasons. The Boogeyman forces people to kill, but a lot of the kills this season were multi-kills, including the Secret Society. I suspect we may see the Secret Society again, or at least some variation of it. Grian included himself the first time to make sure people understood what's going on, but once people see it the first time, I feel like they'll be pretty quick to catch on. This will obviously make it a little more difficult for other members of the Secret Society to strike again, but Scar got a multi-kill despite people knowing that the Boogeyman was around. People may be more aware of the danger, but that does not mean that killing other players directly or indirectly is outright impossible. This kind of goes into my next prediction that the latter half of Past Life will lean more into lore than previous seasons. This has been discussed by some actual Life series players, but the Life series itself never really discussed lore in much detail, which left room for the individual members or the fans to speculate or make their own headcanons or lore. While this is definitely fun, it's kinda interesting to see how the series itself may play into the lore, especially given what we know about the Secret Society and the Watcher symbol being filled in with bedrock. I'm really hoping the next few episodes dive deeper into the possibilities with the lore, since the theme ties so heavily with the Evo SMP that Grian ran and the Watchers/Secret Keepers. I know I said the latter half earlier, but another prediction I have is that Past Life may be one of the shorter seasons of the Life series. Life series seasons are generally 8 to 9 episodes, not counting specials, with the shortest being Double Life at 6 episodes. It makes sense why Double Life is so short, since the death of one player will mean the death of their soulmate, but for Past Life, it's less of the twist eliminating one player, but rather the players eliminating each other so quickly. I may be overreacting, but Tango is already on red, and we have a good number of yellow and light green players, despite being at what should be the halfway mark of the season. Even without the Boogeyman role, Tango can kill whoever he wants, and the yellow players may not be that close behind. The Secret Society asks for multiple player deaths, and Scar was able to get a multi-kill semi-easily. On top of that, some players decide to duel for the fun of it, like Geminitay or Scott and Joel. This isn't even counting quote-unquote accidental deaths, like getting exploded by a creeper or falling into the square hole. With so many ways to die, I highly doubt this season will be on the longer end. This doesn't even take into account one of the biggest predictions for a Life series. Who do I think the winner will be? In a previous video, I listed some Life series members I thought had a really good chance of winning, including Etho, Grian, and Gem. I'm not going to go too in depth on the reasoning I used in that video, but I think these Life series members have a really good shot at winning the Life series this season. Grian has already won and got second place in Wildlife. Scott proved that you can win a second time by winning Simple Life, so Grian can try to go for the win again. Grian clearly is aiming for a win by trying to assemble the Avengers of the Life series, so to speak, and the villains haven't been doing that terribly for themselves. Personally, I'm kinda hoping Grian and Pearl give Gem the win, instead of aiming for it themselves. Gem can definitely hold her own in a fight if it comes down to it, but she hasn't won a Life series when both of her teammates have. Plus, the main times her and her teammates have died were mainly due to careless mistakes, like falling in their own square hole, misclicking on a bed in the end, or by dueling people like Gem dueling Etho. They are fairly high on lives right now, even though they have angered about half the server, so I can see them making it to the finale. As for Etho, while he does have two teammates that have won the Life series previously, Scar seems a little hesitant when telling people he's the Boogeyman. I don't see this holding Etho back though, as Etho seems to be the most knowledgeable about previous versions of Minecraft and is great at PvP. The twist this season is practically made for Etho. He came up with the idea for the Octokill for the Secret Society and is allied with the villains in Skiz. Due to the Octo kill, he has one of the highest kill counts this season. The problem is that the more recent inversions we go, the more likely others will have an easier time in killing other players. It's almost like a spectrum. The further back in versions we go, the easier it is for Etho, but the further forward we go, the easier it'll be for players like Gem who are more used to later versions of Minecraft. I don't think this will necessarily hinder Etho, but it definitely gives him an advantage by staying in the earlier versions of Minecraft. Now, there's one person I hadn't thought about as much during my predictions. Someone who has been doing really well this season that I didn't really expect, which is a shame because Good Times with Scar is the last person on 6 lives. He was able to get a multi-kill with the help of his teammates negotiating with the Lost Generation. He hasn't had people duel him or has fallen into traps, and he hasn't fallen to his death like he has in previous seasons either. For what it's worth, Scar is doing really well, and he has won previously. So if his team can band together and keep going, they can definitely make it to the finale. The one concern is B-dubs, like some other players, is on yellow. So they will need to protect/help B-dubs to make sure he can stay in the life series, but the Cabin Corps has really good odds like the villains. Also, I don't think that Jimmy is going to be the first out. Tango is already on red, and while Jimmy is on yellow, he's not the only one. B-dubs, Martin, and Skiz are all on yellow. And Martin was the first to be on yellow. The Canary Curse has been broken twice already, and Martin has shown that people can be on yellow and still do well in this series, sometimes even leaving deadly scenarios unscathed. If the rejects hold on to their alliances and work together, I can see them going pretty far in the series. But what do y'all think? What can we expect from the next sessions, and who do you think is going to win Past Life? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to catch up on previous seasons of Past Life, watch this playlist for my Past Life recaps. I hope you all have a magnificent day, and I'll see y'all later.